birds, the view, the smells of what I'm doing out there, just the mindfulness of the whole thing. That exercise component, the endorphins, the runner's high. I just really enjoy the solitude, frankly. It's just, for me, it's just invigorating to be out in nature and doing that sort of running. It's just, to me, that's the ultimate goal. That's what I love doing the most. My name is Larry Hyde, and I've been running since the late 1970s, so a little over 40 years now. Growing up, I was always a team sport person. I played, football, hockey, baseball, primarily throughout college and high school. That I was always someone who wanted to exercise every day, basically. So my roommate encouraged me to run a cross-country race when we were seniors in college. And I had never done any kind of running like this. I went out in a pair of, soccer cleats and basically ran a 3-mile course or something. That was the moment where I said, well, wait a minute, maybe there's a future for me in this. And I had success, and that's what really motivated me to continue. Got through that first marathon, qualified for Boston, and I couldn't pass that up, so I ended up running Boston. It was just one thing after another. Just, and 31 marathons later, I finally, decided that was the end of it. But it was quite a journey, and very, very satisfying. So marathon is technically 26.2 miles. Some are hilly, some are flat. The course is never the same in that regard, so there's always something different to train for, in a sense. Back when I started, not very many people were running them, but there was a large running boom, a marathon boom, if you will, where that became everyone's goal. It's kind of the ultimate challenge, this whole marathon business, and people really took it to heart. They didn't care how fast they ran, but back in the 80s and 90s, everybody seemed to have that goal, so it became much, much more popular than when I started. The differences between these short and long races, on the one hand, that marathon has that unknown beyond the 20-mile mark kind of a thing. I found myself kind of going through thinking, first 10 miles was nothing. The second 10 miles, I get a little bit harder up around 17, 18. So there's that aspect, but more importantly is the training. I mean, you've got to spend so much more time over such a longer period of time doing the training for the marathon. It's hardly comparable, frankly. Back when I was really training seriously for marathons, I'd be running 6 days a week and probably anywhere between 50, 60, 70 miles a week, something like that. I only run about 20 miles a week anymore, but I'm not training for a marathon either. I realized after I'd gotten going that, one of the best ways to train for me anyway was running hills. Basically, I thought that was a really good way to build strength. Whether the marathon itself was going to be hilly or flat didn't really matter to me. And so I spent a lot of time doing the hills and complemented that with running on the track for speed work. Nutritionally, goodness, think back to those early days. People just didn't know how to prepare for these sorts of things. Some people were doing the pasta loading. I was doing that. That seemed to work for me pretty well, but then there were varying theories, and other people were saying, well, don't eat that much, the night before a marathon. You don't want your stomach working too hard. But I tried that once and had like ice cream for dinner the night before, and it was totally ineffective, and I didn't perform very well at all. So, like I say, it's been an evolving thing, but over time I figured out what was right for me, and really stuck to that kind of a regimen. So the main sacrifice for me was one of family time. Just having to spend so much time doing the training just took away, especially weekend time, when otherwise we might have been doing other things. But I was really, set on doing what I had to do here. I had goals, and I was trying to accomplish them. But I would say really the main factor that changed things was the family again. It was a matter of our adopting our daughter at that point, and I just decided it was time to spend more time with the family and focus on that. So I cut down the racing to shorter distances and cut down my training, and was able to accomplish all of that together. Try and enjoy it, I think, is the bottom line. I mean, it's not for everybody, but I think most people can find real enjoyment in something. Stick to it, so give it a shot. Start slowly. Obviously, don't do anything that's contrary to your health. So make sure it's safe for you on the one hand. I mean, just set goals for yourself, minor goals. Start off slowly, as I said, and just kind of work at it and see if it's something that really satisfies you. There are many other sports, and it may not be the right thing for you, but many people have found it to be satisfying, and certainly for me, it's been a life changer. And I would encourage other people to give it a try and see if it's something that provides them with happiness and achievement and so forth. Yeah, so would I like to run another? Well, I feel like on the one hand, I want to run for as long as I can, especially these trail runs, which I value so much. Legs can only take so much and so forth at this point, but I'd really like to run another marathon, to be honest, and maybe that's in the cards. We'll see how things work out.